Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today we have the last round of the quarterfinals for the quest for King Civivi. We have the Civivi McKenna versus the Civivi Exarch. The Exarch being kind of the Chronic's twin brother, not identical, but close. Ooh, I made a drink, it's a little too strong. So, this is the last round of the quarterfinals, and then there will be 4. As usual, I am grading these based on aesthetics, ergonomics, quality feel, because they're all Civivis, Fidget Factor, blade shape, carry, and value. Let's get into it. Wow, my hands are a little sweaty, so that's my excuse there. You fucking idiot. All right. So, let's jump right into aesthetics. Guys, I'm not even going to go through this. This is a very straightforward knife. It is very good looking. It looks classy. This thing looks like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of design. There's a lot to love about this knife. The McKenna, just hands down, kind of gets the overall aesthetic look. Now, if you like the straight line, clean cut, contemporary style look, that's the Exarch all the way for you, But the McKenna, it just has a different look to it. It's unique. Those of us getting tired of like the straightforward looks, I mean, I'm not tired of it, but it's just, you see these all the time. You don't see something like this all the time, especially in a knife that size. Aesthetics are going to the McKenna. Ergonomics. Now these are going to get decimated by a lot of other knives because they're smaller knives. Ergonomically, you can grab this right here on the McKenna and kind of get a full grip on it. And as long as you don't slip, now if you slip up, your finger is going to get chopped in half, and there's nothing to protect you from that. So know that going into it. These are not hard use knives. This thing, I mean, I'm not comfortable choking up on. Realistically, there's no choke up value on this, and there's nothing special about it. It just is a straight line, so it feels okay. The pocket clip, not a hot spot, but I can feel it more so than other knives. So once again, I'm going to give the ergonomics to the McKenna. Kind of because I can choke up, but you can fucking kill your finger if you do that. No, I'm not. I'm going to give these a tie for the ergonomics. They both kind of suck. Especially by comparison of all the Civivi line out there. Comparing against each other, there's nothing that makes it stand out. I want to say that this makes it stand out, but realistically, I get the same out of this. Because I just don't have to choke up on that blade. That alone might make the Exarch win, but they both kind of just blah. There's nothing special about the ergonomics of either one of these knives. They are not meant for a hard, I'm going to go cut some tile type of thing, or some roof shingles or anything like that. That's not what they're fair for. So they're getting a tie for the ergonomics. I apologize. I know we hate ties. Neither one of these is ergonomically fantastic. Now, if you're a child, if you're a child or an infant, the McKenna wins. I mean, imagine a child's hand. Never mind. You guys get the point. Quality feel. This one is going to be a little bit different. Let's first check the centering, because I haven't done anything to these. The centering, damn near perfect on the Exarch. Damn near perfect on the McKenna. So, at first pickup, I want to give the Exarch the quality feel, because I love the way this feels. This feels so solid in your hand, and you'll hear that over and over whenever I'm reviewing, is that I love the solid feel. It doesn't have to weigh a lot, but I love feeling that it's solid. This feels a little less solid, but not much. But, once again, I think I'm going to give these a tie. The reason I'm going to give these a tie is because I wanted to give it to the Exarch for the quality feel. And is my freaking video drifting? That's so weird. I wanted to give it to the Exarch for the quality feel, but I remember feeling this blade when I first took it out of the box, and it felt cheap. When you flip it, the action feels great, but the blade is so light that it feels cheap. Now, it sounds kind of redundant because this is light too, but this is a much smaller knife like you expect. And even that flipping action feels solid. You know, this does feel solid, but the blade is so long and like just like almost feels like you can bend. You can probably bend it with your hands. Even that, it's just okay. Versus, sound effects. So yeah, I got to give the quality to these two a tie. You know, Isham's design feels great. You know, but there's nothing that makes it stand out one over the other. I mean, the quality of these is both the same. They both feel great. They both feel shitty in some aspects. You know, and shitty's the wrong word, but I just got to kind of be dramatic about it. The quality feel, I got to give these a tie. They're both Civivis. There's nothing that makes one stand out over the other, and I can find something about one or the other that I like better. So, Fidget Factor. I'm glad these two are paired up because they're both front flippers. Now, my favorite thing to do with this McKenna is to push down real hard here and try to get as much snap out of it as possible. I don't get that out of this. It just kind of bing. Now, on the flip side, this liner lock, stupid easy. Stupid easy to engage. This liner lock, still easy, but it feels tight, almost like a full-size knife. Does that change anything? No. But once again, I'm finding myself liking one thing about the other and liking one thing about the other. So, again, I hate doing this, but this is why they're matched up, you know? I got to give these two a tie again for Fidget Factor because they're kind of the same thing. You know, I like the sound that this gives me. I like being able to just, you know, that's, all right, let me do it one more time and then I'll show you a regular, right? You got that, but then you got, so it's just kind of like a little softer. This one, the flip isn't as, it's just ding. It just sounds like you're flipping a piece of tinfoil. But again, it's easier to just, right? Whereas this is just as easy, but it's not as fall shutty just because the blade's a little bit shorter. You know, these are a tie. They're gonna tie for Fidget Factor. Blade shape. I love this blade and hate this blade. This blade is hollow ground. It is great. It's super slicey, but it feels dirt cheap. It's nothing against Civivi. It's just the way that this thin thing feels. Now this feels really thin as well, but it's a full flat grind, and because it's not as long, the McKenna gets, it feels, I don't feel like it feels as cheap, and it's just as slicey, and you got this nice sheep's foot style blade that, you know, I like the difference of that blade. This is your typical standard blade, and it is super slicey. This is super slicey, but I like that sheep's foot more. And you know what? This kind of counts as aesthetics. You know, sorry, but I'm gonna give the blade to the McKenna. I like just that blade more. I mean, they're very comparable though. Carry. Oh God. Let's get into this. This is a nightmare comparison. Super deep carry, relatively deep carry. You got this little guy sticking out, but this is nothing. Nothing here. There is nothing. This is equally nothing, but it's a longer nothing. Other than that, they're almost the exact same. As you can see, it's a little bit taller on the McKenna, but it is actually not. Yeah, it's a little bit taller, but it's much more short. I've carried this thing around. I've carried this thing around. Do I notice either one of them in my pocket? Not really. Which one disappears more? The McKenna. I mean, it's just a smaller knife. That thing only weighs like 1.8 ounces or something. So I got to give the carry to the McKenna again. For no other reason other than it's just a smaller knife. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fit in your pocket any easier or better, but it disappears once it's there and you don't feel it. So once again, sorry to you Exarch fanboys if there's any of you out there. As you can tell, the McKenna's won. It is 3-0 with 3 ties. So this was actually a pretty close match. Last on the list is value. Value we have here, let's see here, the McKenna coming in at a whopping $68 for that little turd right there. The Exarch, and I don't mean turd in a derogatory way, it's just whatever. Exarch is coming in at $49. What am I getting for each? I'm getting the Isham design for the $68, whatever. I'm getting the D2 blade. I'm getting a D2 blade on the Exarch, I believe. Oh, you fucker. I'm ruining my show. Let me just double check this blade here. I think this is D2. Yeah, D2 blade. And for my own sanity check, D2. So, now, if I was comparing the McKenna, like, copper version, or, you know, I think they're coming out with, what is that, I forgot the blade, 14C28 steel or something like that, maybe a 154. They're coming out with a new steel for the blade too. The value may differ once I compare those two, which I'm not going to, but if I were, the value may differ. But also what you're getting is you're getting a little bit more price than McKenna as you try go up with the copper scales and the fucking different steel. So I have to give the value to the Exarch, just by sheer virtue that it's almost $20 cheaper, which is 1/3 cheaper than knife. You can buy 2 of these and end up at $100. If you're buying 2 of these, you're paying almost, you can buy a PM2, you know, it's 140, 150 bucks. Or a Wii Practic, or a Wii whatever Shard or something. I don't remember what the other one is. So, I apologize, McKenna fanboy, or I'm sorry, Exarch fanboys. Exarch, you put up a valiant fight. But, advancing, and the last knife to advance to the semifinals, the McKenna. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Tyler. This has been Everyday EDC. Stay sharp, stay safe, stay out of the COVID, maintain 6-foot distancing, wear your fucking masks, all that happy horseshit. Let's get through this together, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.